As the UK prepares for the upcoming Labour budget next month, Jeremy Clarkson has unleashed a blistering rant against Prime Minister Keir Starmer and Chancellor Rachel Reeves. In today's video, we'll delve into what Clarkson has said, alongside the latest news from across the country. But first, if you enjoy our content, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel. Joining our fast-growing community helps us bring you more of the news you care about. Out now, Clarkson is no stranger to publicly criticizing Labour, especially since Starmer emerged victorious at this year's election. Over the past weeks, he, along with many others, has voiced strong opposition to the new tax measures that are reportedly coming from the desk of Rachel Reeves. The Labour Party has already faced backlash regarding the slashing of the winter fuel payment, which has been restricted solely to pensioners on pension credit. This change has left numerous elderly citizens hundreds of pounds worse off, exacerbating financial strain for some of the most vulnerable in society. In addition to this, there are growing concerns surrounding Reeves's potential tax rate on pensions. Many savers are flocking to banks, anxious to withdraw their money and protect their assets from what they fear could be an aggressive tax policy. When you factor in the ongoing freebies scandal, an issue that Clarkson has dissected extensively, it's no wonder critics of Labour are becoming increasingly vocal about their dismay. The problems for Labour continued to mount during their party conference, which was marked by hiccups and moments of confusion during some prominent speeches. Starmer was caught on camera pleading for his staff to release sausages instead of hostages, a blunder that has made headlines across the globe. Meanwhile, Rachel Reeves could only smile and look on as protesters interrupted her address, further highlighting the discontent among the public and within the party. In his latest column for The Times, Clarkson first took aim at Starmer, ridiculing the now infamous sausages blunder. The problem Starmer faced was that he was relying on a teleprompter. It almost certainly read hostages, but when you're using an autocue, it's all too easy to lose focus on what you're actually saying. Clarkson pointed out that when you're standing there reading from a screen, it's a challenge to concentrate fully. In his characteristic humorous style, Clarkson mused that when Starmer was supposed to be delivering a serious message, he was instead daydreaming about a hot dog. He quipped that it's what most vegetarians might think about most of the time, a comedic twist that underlines his critique. But what does this say about the level of engagement we should expect from our political leaders? Clarkson continued to delve into the issue of autocues and similar technology, pointing out that during his time filming BBC's Top Gear and Amazon Prime's The Grand Tour, he always worked best when he rehearsed his lines and adapted on the fly. He posed a thought-provoking question: why should politicians be any different? Why can't they communicate authentically without the crutch of technology? Clarkson's critique didn't stop with Starmer. He then turned his attention to Chancellor Rachel Reeves. If you're the Chancellor of the Cheer, Clarkson asserted, you must know what's wrong with the economy and have a plan to fix it. So why did Rachel Reeves need a prompter during her speech at the conference in Liverpool last week? Clarkson offered his opinion: it's because she's been instructed to smile a lot, which made it impossible for her to focus on both her message and her facial expressions. This led to what he described as talking noises while grinning so hard that her mouth resembled a 1950s Corvette radiator grill. It's a striking image and one that encapsulates Clarkson's frustration with political presentation. He concluded that politicians need to know what they want to say and then just say it. He emphasized that he doesn't care if they're frowning, sitting down, or even in their pajamas. The important thing is to speak from the heart. This latest critique from Clarkson comes on the heels of his previous comments about the Labour government, where he expressed exasperation about what he deemed outdated policies. He's not alone in this sentiment. The public has been increasingly questioning whether Starmer and his administration genuinely understand the challenges faced by everyday citizens. Clarkson's commentary amplifies that dissatisfaction, showcasing the disconnect that many feel exists between politicians and the people they represent. In a broader context, the political climate in Europe has also been shifting. Just recently, voters in Austria made headlines when they handed a historic victory to the hard-right Freedom Party, raising concerns about the implications of such a political shift. Preliminary results indicated that the Freedom Party, led by Herbert Kickl, finished around 2.5 percentage points ahead of the ruling conservative Austrian People Party. This marked the Freedom Party's best result ever, capturing around 29% of the vote. However, the Freedom Party is not without its controversies. Kickl remains a divisive figure, and many other party leaders have quickly united in rejecting the notion of forming a coalition with him. If the Freedom Party cannot persuade another party to ally with them, it could end their hopes of forming a government, leaving the door open for a coalition of more moderate parties. This situation illustrates the turbulence facing various political parties across Europe. Not just in the UK, the Freedom Party has built its platform around tough immigration policies, advocating for the removal of illegal migrants and strict criteria for legal immigration. Critics worry that this approach could lead to a more authoritarian state. Political science professor Katharine Steiner-Hamay has stated that if Kickl manages to become Chancellor, Austria's role in the European Union would be significantly altered, as he has frequently cited Hungarian Prime Minister Viktor Orbán as a role model. Supporters of the Freedom Party argue that their policies will curb illegal immigration and bolster the economy. However, the implications of these policies raise alarm among critics, who fear a rise in xenophobia and discrimination. There are serious concerns about how such policies may impact communities, especially those already facing marginalization. In Austria, recent events have intensified these fears. Last month, police arrested a teenager with North Macedonian roots on suspicion of masterminding a failed Islamic State-inspired attack on a Taylor Swift concert in Vienna. Such incidents only add fuel to the fire for parties like the Freedom Party, which have capitalized on public fears surrounding immigration and security. The Freedom Party ran on the campaign slogan "Fortress Austria," promoting policies that include remigration and making it more difficult for asylum seekers to obtain citizenship. They also propose thorough checks on the citizenship of naturalized Austrians, raising serious questions about the impact on individuals and communities. However, this rhetoric has unsettled many citizens. HTI, a social worker and Austrian citizen who arrived as a refuge from Afghanistan, expressed deep concerns about the Freedom Party's narrative. He pointed out that the party often describes refugees and asylum seekers in derogatory terms, likening their treatment to historical injustices faced by the Jewish community in Vienna before World War II. The parallels drawn by HDI and others are concerning. Alone, Shai, head of the Austrian Association of Jewish Students, has also noted similarities between the current rhetoric against Muslims and the attitudes towards Jews during the early Nazi era. He highlighted the dangers of talking about deportation and stripping individuals of their citizenship rights, warning that such language stirs up fear and hatred. However, not everyone shares these fears. Some supporters of the Freedom Party argue that Muslims are free to live as they wish in Austria and dismiss concerns about rising xenophobia as exaggerated. They claim that the fear stirred up by other political parties is unfounded and that the Freedom Party's message resonates with many who are frustrated with the status quo. As we observe these political shifts in Austria and the UK, it's evident that Clarkson's critiques of the Labour Party reflect a growing frustration among the electorate. The upcoming Labour budget will be pivotal for Starmer and Reeves as they navigate these turbulent waters, how they respond to public concerns and deliver on their Promises will be scrutinized closely by voters, so what do you think about Clarkson's remarks? Are they valid criticisms of the Labor government, or do you believe they missed the mark? We want to hear your thoughts, so let us know in the comments section below as the Labor government gears up for its budget. Many are watching closely, hoping for effective solutions to the pressing challenges facing the nation. The next few months will be crucial as voters evaluate whether the Labor Party can truly deliver on its promises and tackle the issues that matter most to everyday citizens. In conclusion, the political turmoil faced by both the Labor government in the UK and the rise of far-right parties in Austria illustrates a moment of reckoning for many political leaders. Clarkson's commentary encapsulates public dissatisfaction and an urgent need for accountability in politics. Thank you for tuning in to today's discussion. If you found this analysis insightful and want to stay informed about all the latest political news, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel for more in-depth content.